Hello YouTube and welcome to my very first Let's Play, and in fact my very first video on this channel. I'm actually extremely nervous about doing this. In fact, I will let you know a little secret. For the last half hour or so, I have done nothing else except try and record this goddamn introduction. Why? Because every time I try to record, I try to get into the game, I'm like, well, let's have a listen. Let's see how I sound on video. And turns out I sound completely fucking stupid. So, this is going to be my last attempt at an introduction. If this fails, I'm just going to call it quits and go do something else, like, I don't know, play with my cat or something. So far so good, I suppose. Still here, yeah, still here. So, as you can see, I will be playing Max Payne. Now, the Max Payne franchise, I'm pretty sure most of you know this. You know this franchise. It's been around for quite a while. I believe the first game, this one, was originally released on the PS2 somewhere in 2001, I believe. Now, why is this game special to me? Because, first of all, this is the very first game that I bought with my own money. I made some money, doing chores and shit, and I figured, I could spend some of this on a game. Yeah, why not? And then I went to the store and saw the Max Payne box, and I was like, Max Payne, sounds interesting. Let's have a look. And I was like, yeah, I need this game. So I ended up buying this, and I went home and I played it. And when I finished it, I felt like I had already matured as a gamer. Now, why do I say this? Because keep in mind, this was released in 2001, right? This was the heyday, or rather, not exactly the heyday, but rather, this was the rise of the PlayStation 2. Serious games weren't exactly the norm, so to speak. Max Payne was one of these games that offered somewhat traditional style of play, third-person shooting, and combined it with a gritty and actually rather morbid narrative. Dead babies and stuff. Dead babies aren't exactly video game material, if you know what I mean, and yet Max Payne has dead babies. So yeah, this game really made me realize that video games can be more than just brainless shooting or just QT platforming. This game showed me that it's perfectly possible to have a solid game with solid mechanics and yet have a compelling and a well executed storyline, I believe. I mean, obviously you need some suspension of disbelief for some of the things that happen in the game, but other than that, I'd say that Max Payne is definitely one of my favorite, if not, it's like top 3. It's definitely my top 3 of favorite games ever. And I'd say that kind of applies to the entire franchise, because I played the second one and the third one as well, and they were good. The second one was tragic, but it was still good. It's mainly this one. It's the first one that opened my eyes to the world of Max Payne, and whoever made that Max Payne movie should probably be kicked in the balls a few times, but that's besides the point. Anyway, let's get into the game then. At least I hope, unless I actually start sounding like a complete idiot again and decide to stop recording. Here we have... Oh yeah, well, I should mention this. I have the game on Steam right now. I have actually finished this before. The problem is that I uninstalled it, then reinstalled it, played it again, uninstalled it, reinstalled it, over and over and over, with a few of my saves getting lost in the progress. So because of this, guys, I'm gonna have to play on Fugitive. Like, I would really have preferred to play on Hardboiled or Dead on Arrival, because I've played this game so many times. I still suck at it, don't tell anyone. So for now, Fugitive. I will try to not talk over the cutscenes. If I do, please forgive me. I am completely new at this, And yeah, I learn as I go. Let's do this.
Stand by. 1010, investigated reported disturbance at Acer Plaza.
10-4 dispatcher, verify address.
It's Acer Plaza. Repeat, Acer Plaza.
Shots fired on the rooftop. An assault in progress at Acer Plaza. Repeat, an assault in progress. It's a war zone down here. 1085 dispatcher, need additional units. Additional units now. Officer in danger. Officer in danger.
10-5, please repeat. 10-5, all units, emergency. Officer in danger. Acer Plaza. Repeat, Acer Plaza, all units.
They were all dead. The final gunshot was an exclamation mark to everything that had led to this point. I released my finger from the trigger, and then it was over. To make any kind of sense of it, I need to go back 3 years. Back to the night the Payne started. I was still on the force back then. NYPD, Manhattan, Midtown North Precinct, Hell's Kitchen.
So when are you coming to work for me, Detective Payne?
You'd make me work undercover in some hellhole. Sorry, Alex. Michelle and the baby come first. See? My last smoke. It's bad for the baby.
That's you, Max. A regular Boy Scout.
See, Alex.
Still on for poker Thursday night, right?
Like taking candy from a baby. Life was good. Sun setting on a sweet summer's day. Smell of freshly mowed lawns. Sounds of children playing. A house across the river on the Jersey side. Beautiful wife and a baby girl. The American dream come true. Honey, I'm home. But dreams have a nasty habit of going bad when you're not looking. The sun went down with practiced bravado. Twilight crawled across the sky, laden with foreboding.
I love that line.
Michelle, honey, anybody home? I didn't like the way the show started. They'd give me the best seat in the house, front row center. What the hell?
So, a few things I would like to clarify at first. As you may notice, Max looks a little bit chubbier than you might remember him. The reason for this is because I'm playing the game at my native resolution, 1920 by 1080, and obviously the game wasn't made for this, so I tried playing around with the settings, and turns out if I scale it down a bit, then he doesn't look as fat, I suppose, but he does, well, the game just doesn't look as good in general then. So, I decided, whatever, I'll just make him look fat and have Chubby Max running around and doing air dives onto the floor. Well, yeah, okay. Oh yeah, one of the things I love about this game is the voice acting. I mean, it's, especially for its time, it's hands down, it had hands down the best voice acting in a game that I had ever heard. And yes, that does include Final Fantasy X. Don't get me started on that shit.
Listen, someone's broken into my house. Call 911.
Is this the Payne residence?
Yes, someone's broken into my house. They're still here. You have to...
Good. I'm afraid I cannot help you.
Who is this? Hello?
Fun fact number 1. Max's facial expressions were based on... da-da-dun, the writer of the game, Sam Lake. Of course, his name isn't really Sam Lake, it's a pseudonym. Yeah, let's go. Oh, and another thing which I would like to point out is that even though I've played this game many times, I don't think I found all of the little Easter eggs, like the TV shows or the payphones that you can answer. I'm not gonna hunt for them, but if I know of a few, I'll just I'll just do them just for fun. Oh well. Actually, this is just the perfect example to illustrate how old this game actually is. VHS tapes were a thing. Hmm. It's like it's almost like looking at dinosaur fossils. Let's go.
Michelle!
That doesn't sound good. Honey, I'm home.
Michelle!
Jeez, Michelle. Why is my dinner... no, I'm not gonna keep that in.
It's coming.
Freeze! NYPD, drop it!
Coming!
Huh. The good old days of cat animations.
No, please, God, no.
Well, here's the dead baby. Now, honestly, I don't really care about children or babies in general, but this is kind of sad, you know. I mean, this is a video game. You don't really expect to see a dead baby, and yet here it is, dead baby. Are you really that baby? Baby. Baby. Okay, never mind. Let's go see what's happening. Jump and shoot.
No, God, no, please, Michelle. Oh, baby.
Oh, sad face. Oh, by the way, this game has one of the best no's ever. You'll see what I mean in a second. Hear that?
That was 3 years ago. Everything ripped apart in a New York minute. The killer junkies had been high on a previously unknown designer drug, Valkyr, V. After the funeral, I told Alex I'd be transferring to the DEA. It took us 3 long years to get a break in the Valkyr case. Then, finally, 2 months ago, a dime dropper tipped us off that Jack Lupino, a mob boss in the Punchinello crime family, was trafficking. I went undercover, infiltrated the worst mafia family in New York.
And so it begins.
I came in from the cold and the dark. Outside the city was a cruel monster. I've been slowly working my way from the small time to the big fish, trying to get to the source of the drug. Alex and BB were my only contacts in the DEA, the only ones in this decrepit city who knew I was down here.
BB here. Something urgent has come up with Jack Lupino. You need to meet with Alex immediately at the Roscoe Street station.
I hadn't had a face-to-face with Alex since I'd gone undercover. Outside, the mercury was falling fast. It was colder than the devil's heart, raining ice pitchforks as if the heavens were ready to fall. Everyone was running for shelter like there was no tomorrow. It didn't get any better when I got to the subway. The feeling hit me like a point-blank shot straight in the face. Something was not right about this.
God, the voice acting is
My
so
Beretta
good.
stirred nervously under my coat, but the train doors had already shut behind me, and I was in for the ride. Next stop, Roscoe Street Station, and Alex. The station was drenched in gloom. Alex was a ghost, nowhere to be seen. I'd have to look for him.
Let me just apologize to you guys really quickly for the lack of subtitles, because honestly, I don't think there is such a thing as a subtitle option. I mean, I've looked at the options, no subtitles there, not on the game menu or the audio menu, there are just no subtitles. So yeah, while you can probably just read the cutscenes in between, the ones that are in comic book form, whenever there is like dialogue going on inside the game, I'll just try and stay quiet so you guys can hear it, because you know, naughty developers did not put in subtitles. Oh yeah, so let's go in here first.